Let's go.
All right, cool. All right. Welcome to Over Ask. This is the self-proclaimed #1 real estate podcast in the world. It is an honor for Byron Lazine to be on our podcast, and well, it's an honor to have him on as well. Byron, we want to jump right into it here because, I mean, we've had #1 Remax agent in the world, Jordan Cohen, on.
I saw that. Congrats.
Oh, thank you very much.
Thank you.
We've had Ryan Serhant.
And now you've got me. So it's a huge fucking letdown.
Yeah. So we were actually going to ask about that right away. How did you manage to get on here?
Eric was begging me for the first episode, of course. I was unavailable. Okay. And then the second one, I was also unavailable. So then you guys got Ryan, which was a really good, that was a good fill-in for you.
Right.
Number 2 with Ryan. I wanted you guys to build up a little bit of an audience before I jumped on.
Smart.
That is smart. Well, yeah. I mean, Eric had, I'd heard your name around because I see you at kind of speaking conferences and stuff like that. And we really do appreciate you coming on. We're just, we're a bunch of assholes.
I'm thrilled to be here. I miss hanging out with Eric, and I'd love to meet you at a conference or something at some point when the world changes.
You're my real estate conference best friend. That's how I put it.
3-day best friends, and we go back to hating each other online.
Exactly.
I've never heard anyone say they're thrilled to talk to Eric. So that's, I mean, right away, there's a first for everything, I guess.
That's why we're having him on.
Yeah. So this, I can already see where this is going. Eric wanted you on to really pump his tires.
Yeah. The last time I hung out with Eric, I think I had a suite at a 4 or 5 star hotel, and he was staying at the Log Cabin Inn or something. And they had
the Avalanche.
The Avalanche.
Oh no, the Pine Top or something. I basically had the Matterhorn from Disney World flying through my window. It was terrible.
It was a total freak show. But it was the only hotel conference.
Yeah, he was telling me that your conference buddies, you kind of get them into all the good parties and take care of them. So we appreciate that here at Over Ask headquarters.
Yeah, it's a good time.
So when Eric, he kind of gave a brief kind of overview of what you do. It was terrible. So I had to go check you out myself. And, this is going to turn into a compliment. So just hold on. I went to your profile and I just thought when he was explaining what you do and all this, I was thinking, okay, another one of these assholes, there seems to be and then I go to your profile and I start watching your content. And it quickly changed from another one of these assholes to this guy might be a fucking genius. I think you might be you are so knowledgeable about a lot of things and especially real estate. So for our listeners and viewers, what do you do exactly? It seems like you have a lot of hats.
Yeah. I mean, with the content that you probably saw, and I appreciate Matt, the compliment there. I'm like a real estate nerd. So, I do spend a lot of time talking about the drier side of real estate, like what's happening, the Swanepoel.
You should start a Facebook page, the drier side of real estate.
The drier side, like some of the really nerdy stuff that, what are franchise companies make, they make up 44% of the transactions in real estate, for example. Like I just remember stupid stats, like when we used to grow up and watch baseball when MLB was actually relevant, and you remember everybody's batting average and, home run records and all this kind of stuff. I'm just memorizing stats of brokerages and real estate companies, doing that mostly for overall awareness for the 2 companies that I actually care about, my real estate sales company and our media company, where we service other people in the real estate industry, whether they're, non-competing teams and agents to ourselves or developers and brokers, things like that. But the bulk of the day is driving the sales with the real estate team here on the shoreline in Connecticut.
You're like the Barry Melrose of real estate. That's a hockey reference for Canada's own Lionetti.
Thank you for that. So that's interesting. So One in Company, what's One in Company? Because you're talking about your marketing company and your real estate. Is that all under one umbrella?
No, One in Company is the sales company.
Okay.
Affiliated with William Ravis out here, which is they're like the Howard Hanna of the Northeast. If you know that brand, they're privately owned. So they're not, a public traded company like Realogy or now Compass going public, and family owned business, top 12 volume based brokerage in the country, do about anywhere from 13 to 15 billion a year. And so we're affiliated with them. Last year we did over 300 transactions, 106 million. And we've been growing the team really aggressively over the last 3 months. We just finally actually started recruiting the second half of 2020. That's really where my attention has shifted outside of, I'm not really in the field anymore. I've gotten out of production and just focusing in on running the team and recruiting. Well, not EXP style recruiting, just recruiting.
Not EXP style.
And I've got a lot of friends. I just got off of a mastermind, so I want to clarify. I have lots of EXP friends, and I got
describe to us what a mastermind is.
Yeah, like ours is there's 9 of us, and we all have the one common theme in the fact that we're all running a team. So
okay,
so we can't team leaders. So yeah, Eric and I can't join.
I don't know, Matt. I need to do a little digging on your business. Eric definitely can't join.
Okay,
that's fine. I don't want to be a part of these masterminds. Is it all these 9 people in Connecticut, or are they across the country?
You know these guys like Josh Rubin, Joe Biggs.
Oh, it's those guys.
Tom Toole. So it's people that have something relatable, like Lisa Chennai. She's got the #1 team in Massachusetts. Jill Biggs is the #1 team in Hoboken. Josh
Alcoholics.
Rubin, yeah, we have that in common for sure. But just the struggles of, recruiting or deal doctoring with an agent, just all the bull crap that goes into, running basically, a mega team within. Some of them are running their own brokerage or within, a brokerage. So there would be that little bit of a difference. But yeah, we also have the commonality of we like to hang out and go to dinner and have a couple drinks as well. But yeah,
that's cool.
Just
so,
trying to stay around the next corner. So if somebody's figured out something like Tom Toole outside of Philadelphia where he is, it's working and we can learn from it, then that's kind of where we're at. We're a disciplined mastermind. Most of these masterminds that you see online are fucking shit. They're never meeting. It's just a whole clusterfuck of people wishing they were actually being productive. Every single Thursday at 10:30, we get on our call. We did it today. We do it religiously, and we hold each other accountable. So
okay, because we actually had a question about the 5 a.m. club. That I guess can relate. So what is the 5 a.m. club like? Are you just doing that to post that you're up at 5 a.m.? Or is it a real accountability thing?
It sounds like the worst thing in the world. You've described it to me in person before, Byron, but it's just like, you wake up at 5 a.m. You get on
and you're a moderator. You're a 5 a.m. club moderator, so we feel like you have to wake up at fucking like 4:30.
I only do it to shame Eric. That's the only reason I do it. No, cool. This is how if you're interested in how it started. Tom Toole is one of the guys. There's 3 or 4 of us that were like, listen, again, going back to like the mastermind mentality, we had a commonality where we all wanted to start our day earlier, have a repeatable morning routine so that when you walk into the office and all the deal doctoring and bullshit that everybody doesn't like to deal with hits you in the face, you're coming from a really clear place and you can deal with it and you can handle that. So we just decided, let's get up, let's get on a call at 5 a.m. And it was 3 or 4 of us. We would basically say, are you up? Are you up? Are you up? Yeah, we're up, whatever. Then 10 more people want to join, 10 more people. I was on, I think, a panel and somebody asked about it and I said it. And then all of a sudden there was like, I don't know, 50 or 60 other people that wanted to join. So when we got to like that many people, we said, we need to have some structure to this. So we just basically split it up, 4 people, moderator, 1 week, every single month. It's a live call. Now we've turned it into like, you can go over to the podcast 5 a.m. call and find it on the podcast. But that's it. So now everybody else is on mute. Somebody delivers a 5-minute message, whether it be inspirational. Tuesday's tactical Tuesday, super simple, right? Mostly real estate people. There's like over 1,700 people in the private Facebook group. And then some people just listen to the podcast because they don't want to get up. But yeah, it doesn't have to be inspirational, motivational. It can be something about business, just a 5-minute message.
So as a moderator and you're doing that 5-minute message, do you have it completely written out or are you talking just off the dome for 5 minutes?
I go, I'll write my topic, 3 bullet points usually, and that's it. That's my style. But if you listen like Karen Stone or Jill Boudreau, who they moderate calls, they're writing theirs out word for word every single time. I can barely format an email, so it's better for me to just do my 3 bullet points and kind of go off the cuff and fill in the blanks.
Jeez.
And no one's responding. Everybody else is on mute. You're just listening to yourself talk for 5 minutes.
Correct. You are just delivering a 5-minute message live at 5. Mm-hmm. And then the recording goes on the podcast a couple hours later. East Coast.
Do you get feedback? Do people text you afterwards saying like, hey, that was a really good one?
Well,
or what's the validation from it?
The validation ends up in if you're looking for that, if you're looking for the
Yeah,
feedback.
That's
you
all
need
Eric.
validation.
That's all Eric does anything for.
If I did that for 5 minutes at 5 a.m., I'd want people to call me and be like, "Hey, that was a really
Yeah,
good speech,"
I
or
know.
something. Like, does anyone say anything?
Yeah, so that happens in the private Facebook group. So
Oh, okay.
you got to go on to 5amcall.com to sign up. Then you get the invitation to the private Facebook group. It's super organic. We don't advertise it. It's the whole thing grew word of mouth, basically off of, who are some of the moderators getting on panels back when we actually used to have conferences, going back to that, right? And people finding out about it that way. I put it up on, a 10 or 15-second clip on my Instagram stories a few times a week. We have the private Facebook group. And now the podcast, people can find awareness through there, but that's it. We're not really promoting it or advertising it.
That sounds, I mean, well, it kind of sounds
Probably.
awful, but it sounds good too.
It's not a strategy of like, how do we monetize this? There's never been a thought to monetize it.
Right.
It's literally, and Eric is
I don't
highly confused.
It's like $5. You put in $5 every call.
No,
Everything I do is going to be monetized.
right. Who's the sponsor of this? Yeah, I mean, you should have gotten a sponsor.
We're
for that
sponsored by
Sirhan.
Eric's water
My
bottle.
my
throw it
template
up?
platform.
You just
My
the,
water bottle's not here, Matt.
Oh,
the
The
templates.
straw
That's
straw
right.
broke.
Did you try to pitch Sirhan for his Sirhan brokerage on the templates? Did you try to pitch that deal to him?
No, we just let him promote the book. Had a
Yeah.
nice conversation with him.
Yeah,
I don't promote to Sirhan. He promotes through us. Through my massive platform.
Yeah.
Our
I
massive
gotcha.
platform.
So we have sponsors just kind of waiting in line. So
They're
we're
fighting to be on this podcast. So speaking of sponsors and podcasts, you have a podcast, The Real Word, with
Yep.
Nicole. Do you monetize that? I know it's on Inman. I know it's on your personal YouTube channel. How did you get on Inman? What's kind of the end goal with that?
Yeah, we're gonna start monetizing that this year. We never have. Inman did reach out last year and ask if we wanted to go through them with some of their sponsors, and we're gonna do it the other way. We're just gonna get our own sponsors. Not that was a very kind offer, and I appreciate the offer from Inman, and we appreciate the awareness from Inman as well. Obviously, being on Inman every single week for that podcast has brought that awareness. But yeah, no, it really just started for, again, overall awareness to grow everything else that we're doing. That's where, I kind of tend to get a little bit nerdy. Nicole gets super bored. That's what would happen if we did a podcast together, Eric. You would just fall asleep like Nicole does halfway through the Real Word. And no, it's
Like everyone does halfway through The Real Word?
yeah,
Just kidding.
No, we're taking
No, I like it.
three topics that are trending in real estate. Call them the rackets. Basically, are they a racket or not? Is it full of shit or not? Is the thing behind that? And just give our 2 cents on it.
So what do you for the monetization? Because we're actually interested in this. At some I know we have sponsors already, but how many sponsors are you trying to get per episode? Like, do you have a business plan?
Yeah, it would
Or
be just one. It would be the basic one, probably the read at the front, and that would be it. One sponsor per episode. That would buy a group of a package of shows, and then run with the same sponsor for a period of time.
Okay.
Like Untuck It or Audible.
Or whoever read at the front, or the broke agent, we'll do a BA read for 30 seconds.
Are you looking for real estate specific sponsors, like people that want to reach real estate agents, or are you reaching out to kind of mainstream companies?
No, I'd like to keep it within, people looking to reach real estate agents.
Yeah, that's smart. That's kind of what we're trying to have like one sponsor every 3 minutes. So, we really want to capitalize while we can.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
But
Like 2 hour show, mid reads every 5 minutes.
Your guests are gonna enjoy that.
So I want to touch on one more thing with Real Word. You are super knowledgeable about real estate. How are you getting all that knowledge? Are you reading Inman? Are you reading realtor.com? Is it just your work as a real estate agent? Like, you know real estate like I know sports, kind of like how you were saying how you remember, MLB statistics like Larry Walker's batting average from 15 years ago. I could remember that, but all this stuff goes in one ear and out the other for me. So how do you keep doing it?
Yeah, I do read Inman constantly. Every single week I'm reading that, and I'm buying the actual, publications from researchers like Swanepoel, like Ivy Zellman. If you go on Ivy Zellman, you can spend thousands and thousands of dollars with the research that they're doing.
Who is that and what is that?
Yeah, so Ivy Zellman, she's really, one of the most I don't want to say sought after, but esteemed economists in the real estate industry, and she owns her own company, Ivy Selman, where they research a whole bunch of different topics around residential real estate, and then they sell that information to, they're usually selling that information to really big brokers, not just like little guys like me running a team, but anybody can go on there. Ivy Selman, I think it's ivyselman.com or just Google, whatever the website is, and you can sign up to be a member. To be a member, I believe, is free. And then when you want to start buying some of the publications that they put out on a really weekly and monthly basis, you can buy those. There's all prices for different ones. I mean, some of them are, some of these are like $2,000-$3,000 a pop. The Stefan Swanepoel stuff at T360 is definitely more affordable. Like the most basic thing real estate agents should get every single year is what I was talking about in the Real Word a couple episodes ago, which is the 2021 trends report. They go through the top 9 trends that they're seeing in the real estate market this coming year. That's only $200. It's 200 pages, so you're paying $1 a page. I don't know if that's worth it to you guys, but I get no money out of any of these things that I'm talking about either. I just want to make that clear. Like I'm not, even when I, promoted it on the Real Word, I wasn't getting any money for that. But yeah, so I'm buying information and reading as much free information I can, whether it's, Inman, Housing Wire, pull some stuff there. And then your national, sometimes on some of these national sources, there's an interesting topic. They're usually dead wrong. I ripped the living crap out of the Wall Street Journal on the Real Word not too long ago. And it was super local. So I had people actually here locally texting me. They're like, I cannot believe this particular town has done so well. And they didn't even like use any numbers to back it up. They went on Redfin. Any bozo can go on Redfin's data center and regurgitate what's on. There is some good information there. So I'm not beating up Redfin. The data center is pretty good. And the graphs, they've got some good stuff happening there. But any bozo that just got out of college can go on there and write an article on the Wall Street Journal. Why don't you take it the next step, actually do some research, call a top broker in those specific areas and ask them to pull up the MLS and give you some real stats. So that's what I did on the Real Word and I just ripped the living crap out of the Wall Street Journal. So there will be times where I do that.
You're so passionate about real estate, man.
I was
It's
just
crazy.
gonna say,
You ripped the Wall Street Journal about a real estate article about specific stats of a town. Like, who cares?
Global mansion. Well, it was just
nobody cares.
No, because here's why I cared. Because if you're an agent in that town or a broker or team, whatever, like I was getting people texting me like, Byron, like, why didn't you tell me we could have gotten properties there for literally $200,000 2 years ago? I'm like, because it's not the case. They didn't go up 400% in value. This is ridiculous. They're looking at, I'll give you the time. They were talking about Bridgeport area, and they were calling it, just saying Bridgeport, Connecticut, which is not the same thing as other towns in Fairfield County, some of the fancy towns in Fairfield County, like a Greenwich. And so they just had their numbers all backwards. And, it's Mansion Global, Wall Street Journal. They should have kind of, straightened that one out.
well, I was gonna just say what Eric was saying. You're so passionate. You actually sound like you really like real estate. It's shocking.
I like that stuff a lot more than I've never liked taking buyers out, and hopefully none of the One in Company clients hear that. And I really, when I started selling real estate, I didn't take buyers out much past my first year. I quickly learned like grow a team and have other people take buyers out. That's one of the worst experiences for my personality set. People that really enjoy that and can thrive at that to do a really good job. So I don't like every aspect of real estate or being a real estate agent, but I like building a business, and I do like researching how others have built a business and what are the emerging trends and what does it mean when Zillow hooks up to the IDX like they're doing now and everybody's flipping out. Like I do like knowing about that stuff.
Right. So you were saying at the beginning, you're kind of removed from the actual selling aspect of your team now. You're more running the operation, letting your agents do everything. Yeah. So was that always your goal? Because you do so much, like you have your podcasts and you have a radio show as well that we'll get into. But what's your end goal with it all? Do you want to just be like a huge team leader? Where are you trying to pivot? Do you want to go more on the marketing side of things? What's your goal? Yeah,
I want to continue to grow the team for sure. Because that at a point, and if you look, there's some teams, even though everybody thinks teams are so new, if you do your research, right, you'll see that there are a lot of teams that have actually been going for multiple decades. And when you do build it up, it's like building a really strong brokerage brand, right? It can become almost an annuity for you year after year if you, the team leader or the owner or the broker, whatever, continues to provide value back into that system, right? You've got to be able to help your agents be the agent of 2021. Some of these brokerages, by the way, I mean, they're just like giving 1990 tools and hoping their agents figure it out. That's definitely not my style. I want to continue to innovate. I want people here, not for a downline, but for the opportunity to build a personal brand, to make a lot of money. Obviously, that's why you're doing it, but to have a really specific culture. Our culture is built around accountability. If you're not going to be full-time, if you're not going to be a pro, if you're not going to work hard, this is not going to be the place for you. I will not take a part-time agent. Don't have interest in waiting around for you to figure out when the next time to quit your job is and all that kind of stuff. But where do I go from here with that? Definitely more on the marketing side and working with other brands on, whatever the emerging platform is, whether it's social or podcasting and that kind of stuff. Absolutely.
Right. So Eric, you just save your resume. You're not getting on.
Yeah, I feel like that entire pitch was directed at me. I'm not trying to join your team, Byron. Don't worry.
No, that's all right. I know Eric's got some pretty interesting things going on right now. So
what does that mean?
Well,
that didn't even sound like a compliment.
Yeah, what was that? I thought you were gonna be like, hey, Eric, he's doing well with his media company. And
he is.
I got some
That's what I mean.
things. That's a complete insult.
You've got a lot of good stuff going on. I mean, I've seen it. You're a very smart guy. People ask me all the time. They're like, oh my God, because they see us online chirping back and forth.
Yeah, you're so mean to me in the comments. It's crazy. And then you don't respond to my text messages. It's just like,
this is very untrue. First of all, if I say something complimentary, then you hate it. You hate when I say something complimentary. And then when I do rip you, you get very sensitive. So yeah, I don't know where to go on the broke agent comments, but no, when people kind of figure out that we know each other, they're like starstruck. They're like, oh my gosh, I'm like, yeah, he's really not that cool, but
right.
Yeah, I get the same thing. People DM me now because he's got so many DMs. He's a celebrity. They're like, can you tell the broke agent to message me? I'm
how many DMs are you ignoring, Eric?
A day, probably hundreds, thousands. Yeah.
He's like,
it's hard to manage now. People are just submitting so much stuff to me, asking me things, asking me real estate advice, asking me how I got this huge following, asking me how I built this incredible life, how I started this podcast, just why, how did I become who I am, basically.
Matt, how did you guys hook up?
For the listeners, that was all sarcasm, by the way, who couldn't see my face.
Yeah. No, we just kind of, he posted some of my stuff at the beginning of last year, and then we just kind of stayed in touch. I mean, at first it was just kind of like, we'll collab one day, we'll do something. Then I don't know. I think he didn't really like me at first, and then
Is that true?
Oh, okay. Well, I think he started liking my videos more, or came more aware of my videos, like maybe mid last year, and he was like, okay, he's like, I don't know, I do similar content to Eric, but it's all video.
He acts out my memes. It's the perfect combination. And he's got a decent singing voice, so we figured there'd be some good synergy between us, and it's been working so far.
Yeah, it's been working so far for sure. We definitely because what people don't understand is it's all a joke up front, but the back end of things, it's it still is a lot of work.
I love how you made a joke to I saw the preview clip of the Ryan Serhant episode, and you made a little joke up front, and he didn't even crack a smile. He was stone colding you right there, and you played it really well though.
Yeah, that happens more often than not. You'll see as the episodes start coming out. There's
not every joke lands.
No, so sometimes you got to just kind of hold back on the jokes, but no, it's been good with Eric, and yeah, it's cool. I really, I don't like giving Eric compliments, but he does a good job at what he does. And
thanks. Hey, this is the Byron Lazine podcast.
I know,
but
right.
Well, I'm interested. I was thinking about that before the show. So
yeah, because we're from different countries, so
Yeah, but are you in California or?
No, I'm in Toronto.
Oh, you are. You're still there. I knew you were from Canada, but I thought for some reason you were.
Yeah, he's in the bedroom next to me. He moved in.
Yeah.
He's right
No,
next
one
door.
day.
We
That's
bought a house together. Used a
Yes.
different agent
Someone just asked if we're together, because he posts so much of my
sexually.
stuff.
Well, I'm trying to grow you, grow the brand. If you grow, I grow, you know? We
That's
all
right.
grow.
Yeah.
That's right,
So,
that's right.
I mean, it's been cool. So, anyways, back to you. That was enough. We appreciate all the compliments. Very nice.
Yeah, well,
You should
well,
actually
really
look at my
nice.
page and stuff next. That'll be good. I
Yeah.
appreciate it.
Yeah, shoot him a follow.
Maybe
Yeah.
you have some interesting stuff like Eric going on. I don't know.
Yeah, some
Yeah.
interesting stuff. Speaking of interesting stuff, Clubhouse. Thoughts?
Yeah, I know. I'm so far behind on Clubhouse.
Here we go.
You-
Here we go.
you-
Everyone
you
has so
would-
many opinions on
You
Clubhouse.
would kill it on Clubhouse. If
I
you
feel
could
like-
talk to people at the 5 a.m. club, just
I
I was gonna
know.
say, why don't you do the 5 a.m. club on Clubhouse?
it's
So
literally a club.
Yeah, I wrote this like I don't know, a couple days ago, right? We were talking about this. Yeah. And I wrote this on my text thread with the 5 a.m. moderator. I said, "Hey, let's just do the thing on Clubhouse live, and it'll still be on the live call-in, so you can still call in if you're like you don't want to change, you want to stick to the live call-in number, you can do it there." And then Karen Stone says you can't do that because you're not allowed to then take that message from Clubhouse and put it on a podcast. You're not. Is that true? And then I was like, oh, well, that's out. Like you can't take the content, the 5-minute message that you just delivered on Clubhouse and put it onto a podcast after.
You
You're
mean
not
like
supposed to record on Clubhouse.
Oh,
I don't think
yeah.
you can.
no, you
so-
can't record.
But
what
you
if
could still put out your phone call onto a podcast. So I think if you're distributing it in two
to
different
two
ways,
places?
I
Right.
think you'd be able to
Yeah, I was figuring just break the rules. I mean, what's Clubhouse
Right.
going to do? What are they going to do?
kick you off the platform,
Well, then I'll just go back
Throw
to
you
doing
in
it the way we
I know. Who
did.
cares? I only have 40 followers, anyways.
kill you.
Come at me.
Well, what's your thoughts on Clubhouse? I went into there one time and I didn't do anything. I
Wow.
see I see what it's
What do you
about.
mean? You didn't join any clubs or any
No, I
speaking
don't-
things?
I honestly don't think I've joined a club. Let me look. I probably don't even have a single follower. It says start a room. I haven't started a room.
So I joined a bunch of
Yeah.
real estate clubs that give
I
me
have a-
notifications.
I have
So
a
what you
bunch
should
of
do
notifications.
is you should go to my account or someone like Tessa Bella or Ryan Serhan, and you could look at all the clubs and people they follow.
Yeah.
And then you could kind of join their clubs or their communities. So that way you get a notification every single time it pops on. And then that's all like real estate talk, which is kind of cool. So I joined one a couple days ago where this agent in Texas, I just made that up completely. Actually, she wasn't in Texas, but some agent was hosting a club about LinkedIn. Are you listening, Byron? You're not even looking at
Yeah,
me.
I'm seeing I have 163 followers somehow, and I'm seeing how many you have.
The fuck?
Well, I haven't done anything on it. Anyway, she was doing a whole thing
Neither is he.
about LinkedIn for real estate, and it was fascinating.
You only have 244, so this could be the one platform. If I start working it, I could come after you hardcore here because I've got 163 doing nothing. Not
I
saying
only
a
have
word.
40. I don't
Yeah,
know
you-
what to do. I go on and I don't know what to do. I joined a room
Listen,
and no, I don't like to listen. I want to talk. How do I start talking?
you could become a speaker. You could start your own rooms, or when you join a room, you could raise your little digital hand, and then they could invite you in, and you could speak.
It's like when it seems like to me when you go to a conference and the main stage session is over, and then you've got all those breakout rooms. You don't know which breakout session to go. And if you're like Eric, you just say, screw it, I'm just gonna go to the bar and chug a
Exactly.
martini in 3.5 seconds.
Fuck breakout sessions.
You got these 12 breakout sessions, and they're all going on at the same time, so you don't know which one to join. And when they go back to like real life live events, is Clubhouse gonna have a spot in the whole thing here, or I don't know. Is it a fad, or do you think it's here to last? I don't know.
I don't know. Ask Ed Stulak. He'll tell you it's definitely a fad.
Yeah, he hates Clubhouse.
He hates
No,
Clubhouse.
I do think it won't mean as much when actual events come out, because these are kind of like little virtual events, but it's kind of like
Correct,
live podcasts. It is interesting. And, more people are realizing they could just do Zooms and do stuff virtually now. So the thing I like about it is that you don't have to produce content on it. You could just kind of listen. It's not like another platform that I feel like a gravitational pull to, like TikTok or something like that, where I'm like, fuck, I got to keep posting on this. I got to build my brand here. So I haven't really found how like real estate comedy could play into it. I'm not going to do like live stand-up shows about like falling out of escrow.
Maybe
but I
I'll
could-
do that.
Yeah, you should do that.
I'll do songs. I'll put on concerts.
I
No?
do. I think the 5 a.m. call that would be a good spot for that. But would people be up on there at 5 a.m. that aren't really dedicated to the cause? I don't know.
Probably not.
Probably not. That's right.
Probably not. So you're talking about conferences, though. Do you speak at a lot of conferences? Do you want to speak at more conferences? Is that like?
I enjoy that. I like speaking at conferences, sure, and I would do that when they come back. I think when they come back, nobody's making any money off of them. I think a lot of people are going to have to speak for free in the first couple of years because it's just going to be like, hey, we got conferences back. We don't know how many people are going to show up. Money was so tight the last 2 years, everybody that was running conferences, that the speaking fees aren't really going to be there for, people that are trying to build a career off of it. I don't think it's a career anytime soon for anybody.
Yeah.
Unless
you're like Gary V.
Yeah.
How much do you get paid for your speaking gigs?
Like travel expenses has been the only thing.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah.
Oh, that's why they're not hiring me. I'm asking for 20 grand up front to show, and then 20 grand if I put on a good performance.
Yeah.
So, I don't know.
No, I've never had enough leverage to get that ballpark, Matt. So maybe, you can write my asks over an email. I've always done it over email.
Okay. Yeah, that's what I've been doing, but no one's responding. So once I get my first, I'll let you know once I get what I want.
Yeah, you're on a virtual conference with me in
in April. That's going to be my first.
Yeah.
So it's been cool.
Which one's
I'm
that?
getting I don't know what it's called, Digital Deep Dive
Yeah, digital
2021. I don't know. I forgot who
it seems good one. It's good. It's going to be real good.
I'm getting way better at it though, Byron.
Gonna be real good. Are you?
I did a shit ton of virtual conferences over the summer. And by a shit ton, I mean 3. And one of them was Housing Wire. And it was a disaster.
Well, since then he's got high-speed internet.
Yeah, exactly. My internet was cutting out. I was in San Diego, and I was like, I don't know if I was the keynote, but I was the last speaker, and I had to like call in, and it was terrible. So I ended up not even speaking at that. But I spoke at the Jared James conference.
Oh, that's the one I remember. Yeah. How did that go?
Fantastic.
Yeah.
They're cool. I've been asked to speak at brokerages. So I do like
sucks.
I do some brokerage stuff, but like,
What do you talk about?
nothing. I just fucking go up there and say, listen, check out these fucking vids.
Yeah, check out my reels.
Check out my reels. 200, whatever. But no, it's cool. I just kind of talk about putting kind of like what you're passionate about, your hobby, and like incorporating that into your business and, attracting like-minded people. Because that's how I'm starting to grow my business. Is I started the videos about a year and a bit ago, and the business I've been generating a lot more leads. And now, going into this year, my pipeline is bigger than it's ever been just from Instagram. So it's kind of what
so many people are doing business off IG. There's really no excuse for an agent in their community not to be using the crap out of that, platform every single day to pick up buyers and sellers for sure. Speaking of Jared James, going back to that, you guys should have him on this show.
Yeah, we should.
On this podcast.
Have you talked to him?
I haven't in a while, no. And he doesn't even live far from me. It's like a drive away.
You guys should go grab a beer.
I know. Well, social distance beer.
Yeah.
I know. It's
I just got the email today that the T3 Summit, which was I spent a lot of time in the winters in Naples, Florida, and the T3 Summit this year was in Naples in the beginning of May, and they already canceled that. So I think you're going to start to see that. You're going to start to see them already cancel these live events that are planned. Hopefully August TF will do his. I don't know. I'm already hearing that that's not going to happen either.
That's my favorite conference.
That's a total rumor though, so I don't want anyone at TF to get mad at me for saying that.
Well, they might.
I made it up. I made it up actually. I just made that up.
That's where I met all you guys. Well, I met you at the Inman conference in 2016, but that's where I met Tom Toole, Doug, all those guys.
The masterminders.
The masterminders, the 5 a.m. clubs.
We want to write not a 5 a.m. call book. We want to write a book about the mastermind, about like a real mastermind. What it should be, all that. Would that be interesting to anybody?
Not to me, but I mean, you seem to have
go ahead and save yourself the time there.
No, the thing is you seem, what I love about, what everyone's doing here is there's different ways to succeed, to build followings. I mean, there's super analytical people who are probably listening to this right now and they're like, Eric, Matt, what the fuck? I'd love that book. And, we're ruining it because now you're never going to write it. But and then there's like, we just do comedy stuff because fuck, I don't know why we do comedy stuff, but
It's easier
funny.
to make fun than actually do.
I had
Yeah.
one great idea for a meme recently, and I told Jill about it, and I should have sent it to you, Eric. I can't remember what it
Yeah.
was.
Okay, cool.
It would have been the. I'll
Awesome.
That's a really
I'll
good.
text it to you. It was a really good one.
We're gonna
Yeah,
use that
text
as
it
the
to me.
sound bit for your.
Yeah, exactly.
use that.
That's a
Use
good
that.
reel right there.
No, I couldn't come up with that much comedy content on a daily basis. It's ridiculous.
Well, it's cool though, because like you're a super easygoing, like funny dude though, and like you're not like funny, like you're
Like funny, like funny how, Matt?
like funny like a clown. But no, it's like
You have a great sense of humor.
you have a great you have a great personality and sense of humor is what I was
You're
going.
incredible.
You're very nice. You're kind of like the Joe Rogan of
Interesting
real
stuff
estate.
going on.
You are kind of like a mini Gary V of real estate.
I'll take that. I'll
Yeah.
take that.
Yeah, I guess.
Liz, his sister, who you guys should also have on the podcast.
Oh yeah, you had her on.
You guys are pretty male heavy. She had over 100 requests for. Just taking a jab.
Dudes only podcast, man.
No, we have some. Yeah, okay.
But
go
let
on.
him.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's okay.
No. So she had like over 100 requests to like do a podcast, and she never did a podcast because she thought everyone was like going after her because Gary V's her brother.
Right.
I was the first podcast she ever did. I was her first.
Incredible.
I
Oh,
broke
well.
the podcast cherry.
You want to know something? Jordan Cohen was his first podcast.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
No,
So-
that can't be true.
That's true,
Sure.
and we just wanted to try and one up you.
Yeah. No, that's good. That is a good one.
Yeah, it's
Rank Tom Ferry, Ricky Carruth, and Jared James 1, 2, and 3.
Yeah, I've interviewed Ricky.
I watched
Jared,
that, and I want to
Tom,
talk.
all three of them
I
actually.
want to talk to you
Mm-hmm.
about the Ricky Carruth one in a second, but yeah, rank them, please.
Yeah,
All
go
right.
ahead and rank them.
Well,
Just rank them.
rank 'em. Yeah, I got to go TF number one.
Yeah.
Okay.
And 2 and 3, there's just two
Yeah.
more left.
It doesn't mean they're the worst. It just means
right.
they're the worst out of those.
In this particular grouping of three, well, two of them are making money off of their coaching services, and the other one is not. Jared James is making money, TF is, and so I would go. Tom's making the most, then Jared, and then Ricky, who does free coaching, makes no money, so then he would have to be third. That's how I'd rank
But
him.
he makes it from what he says, his social and his YouTube and all that, right?
His EXP downline. He said, I said this to him in our interview. I said, hey, a month ago you said you were never leaving
Yeah.
Remax, and now you're at EXP. He's like, I didn't say that. I was like, oh, you didn't? Okay. Well, I mean, I don't want to like clip in the video, which I probably should have freaking did, but he definitely
should
said
have.
that.
Well,
And so,
we
yeah,
might have Ricky on.
Yeah, you should. Should have Ricky on. He'll I don't know. He'll be a good podcast for you to have.
Let's
on.
get the hair fixed by Ricky, huh? Like, does he have to just comb it directly down? Like,
Well,
I
on
think
your
that's- I think
podcast, he
that's-
looked good.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he did.
He
Enough with the bowl cuts,
it's an interesting guy because I'm like, did he buy all those followers? But then you go onto other platforms and he's getting high engagement. It's very interesting.
He
Yeah, I
jumped
don't
from
know.
like 50 to 250.
Yeah,
Parabolic.
like 250K.
Yeah, it's
So
insane.
there's no question on Instagram he bought followers. I'm gonna just come out and say it. All right. But I think on the other platforms he's grown organically. I don't know. It looks like on TikTok he has, but who
He's
knows?
verified as well.
Yeah, on everything. Yeah. I think he works with a company up in Canada that does all his.
Yeah, that's what he was saying in your interview. Yeah, in
Yeah.
Winnipeg. Yeah, because I don't know. I hadn't heard of him. So there's a lot of people I apparently haven't really heard of, but he's doing the damn thing. Whatever it's working for him.
Luckily, he'll never listen this far into this podcast and hear that I kind of like slighted him there, but.
Well, we're gonna send it to him. This is gonna be the one that we try and get him on with.
Exactly.
We'll say,
So
listen to it all.
This
and
is
we'll
our
actually-
hook.
We'll give him the timestamp. So
Yeah, he's on the hit list. Who else is on the list here? Who's coming up?
so
Maya Vander.
we already interviewed Maya Vander from Selling Sunset.
Good. So you're not staying with old dudes. That's good.
Nope. And tomorrow I'm interviewing Caitlin Clemens. She was on The Bachelor season 23, and
Wow.
she's on a top producing team here in Toronto, actually. And so she's good. Who I think that's
My mom.
yeah. Our
Hopefully
moms.
someday you do the over ask reunion, and then I'll get to like meet all these people.
We
you
were
know?
just talking about that. We're gonna have Andy
summit.
Cohen. Andy Cohen's gonna
You mean
host
Jordan Cohen?
No, Andy Cohen.
Andy.
Oh, from Bravo.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That guy-
we're gonna do an award show, like best podcast, best skit,
Yeah.
best meme,
Yeah.
best
Definitely have Andy
open
come
house
there,
sign.
drink shots of tequila like he was on New Year's Eve. No, you didn't see that, Eric?
No, I saw it. It's just
Nah.
I don't feel like reacting. Yeah.
Makes it so weird. Yeah, we're gonna do that. We're gonna have like an award thing. We really do have some big plans. Eric and I actually have a book concept that we're thinking about. We can't
Oh
really
yeah.
talk
Another-
about it just yet.
Might be a little bit more entertaining than the Mastermind book, if I
Yeah,
had to guess.
maybe you can piggyback on ours
Right.
though. Maybe we can
Yeah.
throw I don't
If
know.
you like cartoons and pictures, I'm sure you should find the book.
It's not a cartoon book.
It's not
This
a
one is.
cartoon. Pictures, maybe, but
Maybe.
cartoon, no.
We'll tease it. Real estate horror stories.
Okay.
Yeah,
along
something like
those
that.
lines.
Something
Yeah.
like that.
Oh,
Sure, you've
really?
had a few. Yeah.
Yeah, it's gonna be a New York Times bestseller.
Sure.
Is what it's
Coffee
gonna be.
table book.
Yeah,
Horror
so-
stories, and then like you can just mix in the bad real estate picks that everybody sends you guys.
Exactly.
Yeah.
No.
And
So-
then
So Byron, who to kind of wrap this up, I guess, who
Good.
inspires you in the real estate industry? Whether it's on social media, whether it's a coach, speaker. I saw you ask this question to Ricky. He said nobody inspires him.
I
want to
know.
see. I want to see who
What-
inspires you.
Yeah, please have an answer. You sound like
Yes.
such a
Yeah, that was interesting. You just got to watch the first 5 seconds of that Ricky Carruth interview to really understand the mentality there. I'll say who really does inspire me is, and I always say this all the time, my real estate crush. She's a gangster, Lisa Chinati. She's got the #1 team, the state north of me in Massachusetts. So not like some big like Tom Ferry name, but Lisa's like really analytical in her business. She's fully operations. She's out of production, and she's just thinks about it a different way. Most brokers are just only thinking about recruiting. She's a recruiting machine, but she's really thinking about it in a way where she's digging in deep to the numbers, and she's building her own software. She's going to get bought out and make millions and millions of dollars someday because she's really building her own IP to where should I place my ads? What zip code should I place my ads? And should that ad go with Google, Realtor, Zillow? Like, she's high level thinker. And so I would say Lisa, who's in my mastermind. And so
Nice.
I just also want another opportunity to promote the book, which is 2 years away from being written. Who else? TF. I mean, I've always liked TF, obviously.
Do you always have to call him TF?
it's so weird. It sounds like a
Yeah. Yeah,
superhero.
yeah, seriously.
He is a-
TF.
He is a superhero.
He's talking about Tom Ferry for the people at
Yeah.
home.
Who
TF. It's like he's your nephew playing t-ball or something like that.
Yeah.
Let's go
yeah.
TF.
Yeah, exactly.
Knock it out.
No, he's introduced me to a whole bunch of people. I'll throw a name, and this is a name you guys should go get on the podcast. Laura Brady, who's the CEO of Concierge Auction. She's built an amazing company down there.
I think I've
In
seen her
Austin,
speak before.
You've met her. You were wasted, but you have
God.
met her. So, yeah.
When?
We were
New
we were in
York?
it in New York at the Give Back. What's the Give Back charity there?
Give back homes.
Give Back
Oh, I
Homes.
remember Laura Brady. Yeah, she's
Yeah.
great.
Yeah,
I
she's
was not
amazing.
wasted, by the way.
No.
Yeah, I remember her very well.
No, yeah, you were wasted.
Well, that's cool. Not like I
Okay.
mean, you got TF. Okay, well, no, you got TF, my boy TF.
Yeah.
I've never
Well,
met him.
like I had 2 female leaders in there and TF in my
Yeah.
grouping, where you guys just only interview guys. You guys are, you're not
Well,
respecting the female leadership.
I think you're just jealous that we're getting Selling Sunset stars. We're
Yeah.
getting Bachelorette contestants. We're
Yeah.
literally getting like the cream of the crop here. And you're,
Yeah.
We just
And-
started.
we just
yesterday? I don't
pitched.
know.
Yeah, we just pitched a couple like Jen Aniston, Sandra Bullock. So they're
Yep.
kind of in the
We got them
pipeline
around the
right
corner.
now.
You're waiting,
Lady
waiting
Gaga.
for the sponsor.
Lady Gaga. Yeah, we're waiting for the
Yeah,
sponsor.
exactly.
For Lady Gaga and Beyonce.
When you guys sign your sponsorship deal, if you think it's a fit for the real word, can you just forward the email after you close
Yes.
your deal over to me?
Absolutely. Yep.
Good.
And
Please do
they'll
that.
do 1/10 of the price for you guys, I'm sure.
I want the
Yeah.
same deal. Say,
Okay.
all right.
It's exclusive.
The real word's been going on longer, so
Right.
should be the
Yeah.
same deal.
Okay, well we'll see about that. Yeah, well we can sponsor this. This will be sponsored by Real Word. How about that?
Good.
Perfect.
Link it up.
Today it's sponsored by the Real Word. Go check it out if you want to, see statistics. Talk about a mastermind book that's about 2 years out.
Talk about Realogy's stock price or something.
Yeah. Yeah, you should have bought it in March. Should have bought everything in March.
Dude, I'm
There
in
you
crypto. I'm buying.
Are you buying
stellar
crypto?
lemons. Yeah.
Oh, we got to talk
first
about
thing-
that
Yeah,
another
we'll
time.
talk about it on a different podcast. My crypto
Not
podcast.
this.
Crypto
Definitely
podcast.
not this.
No.
I don't know how to do any of that. I'm trying to invest somewhere. I don't know what to do. I think I'm just gonna hire someone to do it.
Give Eric your money. He'll convince you to
Yeah, I got a bunch of shit coins I'm putting money into
So-
all day. Big
sell
market drop
t-shirts,
today.
t-shirts
All right.
or something.
Well, this is going. This is trending down. So let's.
Right.
Let's
Send me an Overask t-shirt, and I want to be part of the reunion, and I need that email forwarded once you guys start getting sponsors, so I can ride the coattails.
Yes, sir.
Absolutely, Byron. Seriously, thank you so much for coming on. You were a great guest, which is very unexpected. So, thank you so much for that. It was
And where
actually
can people
great.
find you?
Yeah,
Good.
where can people find you?
And I want to be back too. So once
Yeah,
you
of
get
course.
once you guys
Maybe,
really
yeah, maybe first, second guest, first,
yeah, please,
return guest.
please, just find me wherever. Instagram's fine. Byron Lazine.
Hear that, folks? Instagram's fine.
Just find it
Instagram's
wherever.
fine. I mean, come on. What Google?
I don't know. I mean,
Whatever.
people
I know.
say it at the end of podcasts.
I
Where
know.
do
He
people find you?
he keeps telling me to say that. I'm like, God,
It's people want to get plugged. That's the whole
type
point
in
of
his
going on
fucking
podcast. He doesn't
Google-
want to just talk to us.
You're not gonna fucking link me up. I mean, link me
Yeah,
up.
we're gonna
Eric.
We're
tag
gonna
him.
link you. We're gonna link.
Link it up.
You. Sorry, I'll never say that again.
All right.
Don't worry, we'll cut that. All right, Byron, thanks so much for coming on, man.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you.